Okay, so we are on a field trip today. For this episode, we're going to take a walk through this house in particular. I want to thank Taylor with Century Communities up here in the Morgan Hill subdivision of Erie for letting us take a walk through their home. This is a builder's home. It hasn't been sold to a home buyer just yet, but I wanted to give you a feel of what a showing would be like. So come on in with me. So the first step to looking at houses is to get an idea of what you can afford. So just like we mentioned in the last video, getting pre-qualified is a great first step. There's also places online that you can do a mortgage calculator that you can get a rough estimate of what you could qualify for. And that works at this stage. As long as we have a general idea that we're in the right price home, that's a good starting point. Next step would be maybe get an idea of a rough idea of a location that you'd like to live in or general area, as well as some of the things that you need to have in a property, whether it's a bedroom count, whether it's size to go with the price, age, there's different things, but try to keep it pretty basic because you're going to find that the most important thing is to keep an open mind as you walk through houses. And this is because what you think you like right now might be different, is almost definitely going to be different than what you like after 6 or 7 or 8 places that you've seen. You start to learn, there's a learning curve that goes on as we walk through houses. So as we first start, the idea is keep an open mind. We're taking a look. There's no pressure to buy this very property, but what we are trying to do is get a sense of what you like and what you don't like, what's important to you. So as you keep walking through, you'll find that there's going to be different floor plans. Again, this is a builder home. We might be looking for a condominium. We might be looking for a townhouse. You might decide you like a house that is 50 years old and has big trees. There's always give and take. With a new community like this, you don't get big trees, you get small trees. You don't get big yards, you get small yards. And that's just the trade-off. So sometimes people are saying, I like a new home, but what I really like is a big private yard with big trees and lots of leaves in the fall, and that's not a new community for you. Everybody's different. The important thing is to know what you like. Floor plans are going to change with different decades. What we're seeing today, big open kitchens and big open floor plans attached to the kitchens, where the kitchen is part of the entertaining. It is part of the family space, where we don't want to be in the kitchen and be isolated from what other people in the family are doing. The other thing that you can see here that's very common, this has 2-story ceilings right here, but even where it doesn't have the 2-story ceilings, you're seeing tall ceilings. This is a 9-foot ceiling in this kitchen. The difference between 20 years ago, we would see 8-foot tall ceilings all the way throughout, and now we're seeing 9 and 10-foot ceilings, if not 2-story. It makes a big difference. Even though it doesn't show up on the square footage of the house, it feels different. So you might say, wow, I really like the 9-foot ceilings. Again, we're looking at a newer home if that's the case. But all of this is, as we walk through, we just want you to get a sense of what you like. So before, I've had different buyers that will take lots of in-depth notes on places. I've seen what kind of works, and I think what I've decided tends to work the best is it's okay to keep notes, but you want to keep them very basic. You know, if you when you walk through the house, if you see something that you really like, jot that down. At the end of walking through the house, maybe think of the items that you really liked, the 2 or 3 items that really stood out in that house that you liked, and then give it a simple rating system, either a 3-star system, basically just to keep it as a yes, a maybe, or a no, because any more effort to try to get exactly what you want with that usually ends up, you miss something and you end up eliminating a house that could have been a good house for you. So try to keep it very basic at this stage. The nice thing, we'll keep walking through here. The nice thing is that in most markets, we will have the opportunity to say, all right, here are the 5 houses that we liked the very best. And we're going to take a second look at those 5 houses. The reason that's important is because the second time through a house, it can feel different. You either like it more or you like it less. And there's a great value to taking a second look through. A couple years ago, the market was so fast, buyers didn't have a chance to take a second look. It was gone that day. And so they only had like 30 minutes to make up their mind. It was a terrible time for a market for a buyer. Fortunately, right now, we are in a situation where you do have time to take a second look. So I highly encourage that. So you're not having to narrow it down so much that you are really deciding whether you like a house or not. If it's a yes or if it's a maybe, then you want to keep it on that list for second showings. That's an important thing to keep in mind. This is not the only time you take a look through the house. We'll go upstairs because I want to show you a couple of points upstairs. And keep in mind, while we're thinking about houses, that the number one want for people is going to be the same. Everybody wants a house that they love, that fits for them. So our job is to find that house, to find the one that fits for you. My job as the realtor is to listen to what you're saying as we're walking through houses, what you like, what you don't like. I keep that in mind so that maybe I know of another area that has the house that you're describing, that has the neighborhood that you're describing. That's my job. Your job is to be able to tell me, hey, I really like this, or I don't like this style at all. Both of those are valid. And it's important to know, we'll walk through the primary bedroom, primary bathroom. You'll see, again, tall ceilings here, 9-foot ceilings. Big bedroom. Now, this, again, is going to be price specific. This one, it might be more expensive or less expensive than what you're going to be looking at. So there's different features in different price points. The thing to keep in mind as we're walking through is that we are looking for the one that speaks to you. We're looking for the one that you say, yes, I like this one. And it may only take you 1 minute inside a house to get that feeling of, yes, this is the one that I want. As I said on the previous video, that could be the very first house that you walk through, but it probably won't be. It could be the 20th house you walk through. Whenever it is that house, that's when we go to the next stage of writing the offer. Right now, we're getting a learning curve up. We're learning about houses. We're learning what you like, and we're getting a chance to see these places. So as we're walking through this primary bedroom, you'll notice with the bathroom, the trends today are more, they're always going to be as big a size as they can afford based on the square footage of the house. The showers have gotten much bigger, and that's mainly because the homeowner buyers for years would say, boy, I'd love to have the big soaking tub that this has, but the bathroom's not big enough to have a big soaking tub and a big shower, so they would give just a very small shower. And the homeowners would say, or the home buyers would say, I'd love to take a tub like this every day. I just don't have time to, so I shower every day, and this is a very small shower. So something that is newer trends in the last 5-6 years is a big shower. Sometimes that is at the expense of the tub, that the tub goes away because it allows the shower to get bigger. Different things, again, as we're walking through, just that I point out regarding the floor plan. So that's where you tell me what you like, you tell me what's important to you, and then we can be looking at, is that a new home, or is that a home that's more 20 years old or even older than that? Other things as we walk through and go back to the front of the house is that you'll find with new homes, there's going to be features that you don't have with resale homes, but also things that you don't get with a new home that resale homes have. So you'll have extra expenses with a new home, such as landscaping and window coverings. Some builders try to offer incentives to home buyers, so they'll offer to put window blinds. This house doesn't have the blinds up yet. They might, but most of the time the builders do not do the backyard for you. They do the front, but then the homeowner needs to put in rear yard landscaping and a back fence. And that you should plan that's going to add an extra $10,000 or $15,000 once you've moved in. So there's a few extra costs with a new home. But what also is happening these days is that the builders are offering lower interest rates than you could get with a resale home. And that's because the builders are paying to buy down that rate, whereas a regular traditional home seller maybe can't afford to buy down that rate for the prospective buyer. So everything is a balance. We're trying to find what the right balance is for you, so that we find what the right house is for you. As we go downstairs, again, you notice how big and open the floor plans are. These newer homes try to take advantage of more windows and bigger windows. And I guess the last point that I would have for this video is we're not going to see, out of every house that we look at, you aren't going to like all of them. And especially at the beginning when we're getting through that learning curve, I want you to realize that for every house that we go through that you don't like, we are getting closer. We're getting one house closer to finding the house that you will love. Part of that is that the more you see, the more you realize what you like, and the more I will learn what you like. So just realize there's no wasted efforts in taking a walk through houses. Thanks very much for being a part of this with me again, and I'll see you on the next video.